Now, we've got the template, but we have to use it now. And the question is, where do we put that code? Now, the obvious place to generate this newsfeed item is in add remove my pick, because that's where we are adding and removing the pick. The problem is that, and it's a common problem, this is the data that I need to call the template. I need the name of the pick ID, and the address. That's what I need for those templates. Now, there's no way I could have escaped the name of the item. I needn't have put the address in, but I've got to put the name in, because generating a newsfeed item that says so-and-so selected pick number 17 is really not very interesting. So what I've got to do is I have to find the name and the address of this pick, because remember, the join table only has two fields that matter: the Facebook user ID and the pick ID. There's no extraneous information. That's one of the reasons that join tables work so fast, because they have nothing except the two fields that you want to join, and often, as we do, they have a modification date and a primary key. We also have a notes field that we don't use. But that's all. A join table is really pretty sparse, so that everything can be indexed and run quickly. I don't have this information when I am calling add remove my pick. So I have to put in a database call to go get that information. And I look here and I see that after I've finished adding the pick, I go to my picks. And that's the page that's logical, because then I can see, or the user can see, all of his or her picks. What I'm going to do is to change this call and change the mypicks routine. And what mypicks is going to do now is it is going to make that database call. It is going to still do the get from database and render call, which will get all of the picks for that user, but I'm going to redefine my picks so that it has an option in it to generate a newsfeed item concerning the ad, so that I'm keeping add remove my pick just a database manipulation. So this is what it looked like the last time we looked at add remove my pick. Now let's take a look at what it's going to look like now. What it's going to look like now is we're still going to have the user ID. We have to have that. But I'm also going to pass in a pick ID, which I have now. That's the other piece of data that I have in add remove my pick. And a parameter, do news, and I'm setting it to 1. So I'm going to pass that in to my picks, and it's in my picks that I'm going to call to generate the newsfeed item, because at that point I can get the data that I need and package it up and create the newsfeed item. So I'm going to modify the call to my picks, and then I'm going to modify my picks. I've done the first part. Now let's take a look at my picks.